Hello there, beautiful beings of light. I hope you guys had a very happy Mother's Day, and I hope you've had a good May. I just wanted to speak today about romantic love. So, besides the relationship we have with ourselves, I think one of our most other important relationships is our partner. So, I wanted to bring to you a story today. It's a story that I've known for a little while. It's so sweet. My beautiful teacher in school read every time that we had class. She would start off with a short story, and I just thought that was so beautiful. And this one always stuck with me. And she actually made a copy for me in high school. But I happen to have the book with me, and I want to read it to you. And I hope you enjoy it. And it's from the Chicken Soup from the Couple's Soul. This is called Smiley. S-H-M-I-L-Y. Smiley. My grandparents were married for over half a century, and they played their own special game from the time they met each other. The goal of their game was to write the word Smiley in a surprise place for the other to find. They took turns leaving Smiley around the house, and as soon as one of them discovered it, it was their turn to hide it once more. They dragged Smiley with their fingers through the sugar and flour containers to await whoever prepared the next meal. They smeared it in the dew on the windows, overlooking the patio where my grandmother always fed us warm, homemade pudding with blue food coloring. Smiley was written in the steam left in the mirror after a hot shower, where it would reappear bath after bath. At one point, my grandmother even unrolled an entire roll of toilet paper to leave the word Smiley on the very last sheet. There was no end to the places Smiley would pop up. Little notes with Smiley scribbled hurriedly would be found on dashboards and car seats or taped to the steering wheels. The notes were left stuffed inside shoes and left under pillows. Smiley was written in the dust upon the mantel and traced in the ashes of the fireplace. This mysterious word was as much a part of my grandparents' house as the furniture. It took me a long time before I was able to fully appreciate my grandparents' game. Skepticism had always kept me from believing in true love, one that is pure and enduring. However, I now never doubted my grandparents' relationship. They had love down pat. It was more than their flirtatious little games. It was a way of life. Their relationship was based on devotion and passionate affection, which not everyone is lucky enough to experience. My grandmother and grandpa held hands every chance they could. They stole kisses as they bumped to each other in their tiny kitchen. They finished each other's sentences and shared the daily crossword puzzle and word jumble. My grandmother whispered to me of how cute my grandpa was, or how handsome an old man he had grown to be. She claimed that she really knew how to pick him. Before every meal, they bowed their heads and gave thanks, marveling at their blessings, a wonderful family, good fortune, and each other. But there was a dark cloud in my grandparents' life. My grandmother had breast cancer. The disease had first appeared 10 years earlier. As always, Grandpa was with her every step of the way. He comforted her in their yellow room, painted that color so she could always be surrounded by sunshine, even when she was too sick to go outside. Now the cancer was once again attacking her body. With the help of a cane and my grandfather's steady hand, they still went to church every morning. But my grandmother grew steadily weaker, until finally she could not leave the house anymore. For a while, Grandpa would go to church alone, praying to God to watch over his wife. Then one day, what we all regretted finally happened. Grandma was gone. Smiley was scrolled into the yellow and pink ribbons on my grandmother's funeral bouquet. As the crowd thinned and the last mourners turned to leave, my aunts, uncles, cousins, and other family members came forward and gathered around Grandma one last time. Grandpa stepped up to Grandmother's casket, taking a shaky breath, and began to sing to her. Through his tears and grief, the song came, a deep and throaty lullaby. Shaking with my own sorrow, I will never forget that moment. For I knew that, although I couldn't begin to fathom the depth of their love, I have been privileged to witness its unmatched beauty. Smiley, Smily. See how much I love you. Thank you, Grandma and Grandpa, for letting me see. Lord Janine Allen. That's really powerful. I feel grateful to have my husband. We've been together for 18 years, and I feel so blessed that in the time of our relationship, we've grown as individuals and together. And I just feel so blessed. We help each other grow. And it's good to have differences. He's into football, I'm not so much into it, or he's into music, and that's okay. You find common ground, you know. So I would like you guys, if you made it this far, I would love to see your partner. If you'd like to put it in the comments below, I'm going to put a picture of me and Nick down there, and maybe you could join. And, you know, we're grateful. So I wanted to read one more thing to you. This is from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love. And this one in particular really got to me because, well, you'll see. It's called, this is number 67 out of, I think, 101. Never underestimate the power of love. Years ago, I was at a relationship seminar when a member of the audience stood up and asked the speaker, "Why should I act loving to my wife? She doesn't act loving to me." The speaker responded in a gentle, non-judgmental manner and says, "Because you need the practice." His words hit me like a ton of bricks, and have always stuck with me. His advice was, and still is, right on the mark. In fact, I can't think of a single person who doesn't need more practice in the art of loving. Can you? Did you know people who have mastered the art of loving kindness? If so, I'd love to meet them. With rare exception, we all need practice in unconditional love. We can all stand to be less defensive, selfish, and reactive. Most of us would be better off if we were better listeners, kinder, gentler, and more generous. But to embrace these qualities requires practice. Not so much when our partner is acting loving or supportive, but rather during those times when he or she is off track and acting unloving. In other words, it's easy to be kind and loving when our partner is already doing so. It's something else altogether to do so when they are not. You can transform your relationship forever by utilizing the power of love. If you can respond with love instead of frustration and reacting, you can remain loving instead of acting defensive. And if you can keep your heart open, even when it seems uncalled for, you will have discovered the power of love and the most effective way to ensure lasting and nurturing relationships in your life. To fully utilize the power of love is certainly easier said than done. However, it's not as difficult as you might think. Even that, all that is required is your intention to do so, along with, you guessed it, plenty of practice. When your partner is being attentive and loving, enjoy and appreciate it. But when she or he is not, then it is time to turn your heart to the on position. Rather than insisting that she act differently, do your best to be understanding and unconditionally loving. Let it go. Be forgiven and listen well. Keep your sense of humor and be supportive. One of the most mysterious and magical qualities of all relationship is the interconnectedness that develops between two people. When your heart is full of anger, chances are your relationship will suffer. When you're demanding and aggressive, your partner will tend to close down. When your mind is filled with thoughts about what's not right with your partner and other forms of mental negativity, your partner will, in some way, sense your ill feelings and remain distant and guarded. Your relationship will not be all it can be, not even close. On the other hand, in most cases, when your heart is full of love, your partner will feel it too. Their defenses will drop and they will return to a more loving feeling. When your partner says something or does something wrong, you can brush it off and remain loving. He or she will bounce back more quickly than if you react with harsh thoughts of retaliation. If you can remain in an inner environment of love, relatively undistracted by less perfect behavior, more issues will quickly resolve themselves. I'm not referring to burying your head in the sand or putting up with abusive behavior, but rather learning to let go of little things so your heart can remain open. The next time you find yourself feeling agitated or annoyed with your partner, try a different strategy. Rather than continuing the typical and virtually universal cycle of demanding that he or she be the first to change, be open to the possibility of acting loving in spite of all. You may be quite surprised at how quickly and dramatically things will turn for the better. Never underestimate the power of true love. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Oh, I hope, I love you guys. I love my husband. I love me. I feel so grateful. So, I wish the best for all of you. Even a little guy who just fell down. The little Paw Patrol fall down like right away. No, just right at the last second. There we go. Many blessings, beautiful souls. I just hope the best for you, and I wish you lots of love. Mwah.